Good evening, children. How are you all? I hope everyone are doing fine. So let us continue with the chapter, that is chapter number 7, Diversity in Living Organisms. So in our previous class, we studied about the topic Five Kingdom Classification. There we studied that so living organisms are classified into five, that is Monera, Protista, fungi or mycota, plantae and animalia. So we studied three kingdoms. So the left out one is two kingdoms. So that is kingdom plantae and kingdom animalia. So in today's class, let us study about kingdom plantae. So let's begin with the class. So kingdom plantae. So kingdom plantae is classified based on different characteristics of a plants. Okay. So differentiation of a plant body by body and distinct components. So when you look into the plants, you can notice they have stem, they have branches, they have leaves, flowers, also fruits, roots. Okay, so we differentiate a plant body by their body as well as distinct components, right? And also we studied about the vascular tissues in the chapter tissues, that is plant consists of vascular bundles, that is xylem and phloem. So based on that also the plants are classified, and also ability to bear seeds, whether the plants are bearing the seeds or not, whether it is exposing the seeds or it is covered with the fruit. So like this, based on all these features, we classify the plants. And we notice that few seeds are enclosed within the fruits and few seeds are exposed outside the fruits, right? So based on all these characteristics of plants, the plants are classified. Okay, again in the plant kingdom, you see various branches, okay, various classifications you can see. So let us look into the detailed concept about classification of plants. So children, in this slide, we can see the classification of plants. It is a vast classification that you can see in plants. Okay, so plants are grouped into two, that is based on the differentiating plant body. So in one way, we can differentiate the plant body. In another way, we can't differentiate the plant body. Okay, so that is how it is classified. Here you can see do not have differentiated plant body. Yeah, yes, they have a differentiated plant body. Okay, under do not have differentiated plant body, you can see one classification, that is Thallophyta. Under have differentiated plant body, you can see two, that is without specialized vascular tissue, with vascular tissue. So few plants, they don't have vascular tissue at all. They don't have xylem, they don't have phloem. So in another way, we can see in another such plants, we can see vascular tissue. So based on that, it is two. Okay, so that is Bryophyta. So that is without vascular tissue. So one we saw that Thallophyta and another one is Bryophyta. Under with vascular tissue, you can see two, that is do not produce seeds and yes, they produce seeds. That is pteridophytes. Okay, pteridophyta. So this belongs to the plants where they don't produce the seeds. So wherein producing seeds are said to be phanerogram. Okay, so again this phanerogram is divided into two, that is they bear a naked seeds and bear seeds inside the fruits, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, so under angiosperms you will be like studying two, that is monocot and dicots. Okay, so this is the classification. So first was Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, so this is overall concept that you will be studying in detail in further slides under kingdom plantae. So first we will look into the kingdom, sorry, the classification Thallophyta. Okay, so you should know that Thallophyta, they don't have differentiated plant body. Okay, coming to Thallophyta. So as I said, they don't have a differentiated plant body. Okay, the plants do not have well differentiated body parts. So you can see in the picture, children, you can't guess which is the stem, which is the root, and they don't have a proper structure of leaves also. It's just like floating, right? Why? Because these are mostly aquatic. Okay, so these plants which are grouped under Thallophyta are mostly aquatic, and Example are algae. So the plants are called as algae. Okay, you have seen pachi anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. So the plants are called algae. You just look into the algae. You look into algae. So pachi ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ? It is just like a jelly substance, right? So you can't differentiate which is leaves, which is roots, and which is stems, right? So that is why these plants are grouped under Thallophyta. Okay, examples are like this. Spirogyra, you can see the first picture. Spirogyra, and the next to Spirogyra, that is Ulothrix. Next is Cladophora. Next is Chara. So these are all the examples for Thallophyta. Okay. Next, we are going to study about Bryophyta. Bryophyta comes under have differentiated plant body. Yes, we can differentiate plant body into stem, leaf like structures. Okay. So they are called amphibians of plant kingdom. Why they are called amphibians of plant kingdom? Because so what is amphibians, children? So the organisms which live both in water as well as land. It is said to be amphibians, right? So yes, so bryophytes are the plants which are grouped under bryophytes are said to be amphibians of plant kingdom. You may get a question. So which kingdom, like which is said to be a amphibians of plant kingdom? That is bryophyta. Okay. So the plant body is differentiated into stem, leaf-like structures. Okay. And specialized structures for the conduction of food and water are absent. So they don't have proper vascular tissues. Okay. And examples are like this: Funaria, it is moss, and Marchantia and Isia. These are the examples of bryophyta. You can see in the picture. So how Funaria looks like, and you can see the parts of the Funaria also. And Marchantia and Riccia. So these are all the examples of bryophyta. Examples are so important to know which uh, classification they belong to. Okay. So children, before going into the next classification, first we should know the difference between cryptogam and phanerogams. Okay, so here is a table showing a difference between cryptogam and phanerogams. So cryptogam is nothing but the organisms or the plants, they reproduce by forming spores. Okay, and phanerogams, they reproduce by forming seeds. So here you could know the difference between the mode of reproduction in case of cryptogam as well as phanerogam. Okay, so in case of cryptogams, the reproductive organs are hidden. Okay, it is not exposed. It is hidden in case of cryptogams. Where in case of phanerogams, that is the reproductive organs are exposed. It can be seen. Okay, so in case of cryptogams, they are less evolved plants. The plants are not evolved to that extent. It is not well developed, well evolved. In case of phanerogams, they are highly evolved plants. Okay, so your examples for cryptogams are mostly Thallophyte. So just now you people have seen Thallophyte group, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. We shall look into Pteridophyta in the next slide. Okay, coming to phanerogams, examples like all angiosperms and gymnosperms are said to be phanerogams. Okay, later you will be studying about this also. So examples of cryptogams are mosses and ferns. Phanerogams examples are mango, rose, pine, banyan. So all well-developed trees, well-developed plants comes under phanerogams. Okay, so this is a major difference between cryptogam and phanerogam. So children, here is a classification of Pteridophyta. So P is silent here. You need to pronounce it as Pteridophyta. So here the plants which are grouped under this classification, that is this group, the plant body is differentiated into root, stem and leaves. So here the plant body can be differentiated into root, stem and leaves. So and also vascular tissues are present. Xylem and phloem tissues are present in case of such plants. Examples are ferns, Marsilia, etc. So these are the example. Marsilia and ferns are the examples of Pteridophyta. Okay, so here in the picture you can see how leaves and stems are roots differentiated in case of these plants. Okay. Next that you are going to study is about gymnosperms. Okay, when I was explaining phanerogams, there comes gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, so the word gymno means naked and sperm means seed. Okay, here gymno means naked. The seed can be visible. Okay, seed can be seen. And spore means you know that it is seed. So the plant of this group will bear naked seeds. They are usually perennial and evergreen. Okay, examples are pines, that is pinus, cycas. See in second picture, cycas plant you people have seen in many large gardens and large parks. Okay, so there you have noticed this plant, isn't it? And it is very costly, also a very expensive plant. Okay, and here you can see seeds are exposed. Seeds can be seen. Here in the first picture, Pinus example, you can see the seeds, how hard the seeds are. When you touch the seed, you can feel that. Okay, and these two examples are under gymnosperms. Okay, and these are perennial and evergreen. Okay, these plants are very evergreen plants. Okay. Next, coming to angiosperms, the word angio means covered and sperm means seed. So name itself says the seed is enclosed in a fruit. That means seed is covered with a fruit, inside the fruit. So the plant of this group bears covered seeds. Okay, so they are called flowering plants. So all flowering plants. So the plant embryo in the seed have cotyledons. So if you consider the embryo in the seed, they have cotyledons. Cotyledons means once you take a seed, you can just unfold the seeds. You can just remove it and see there are two cotyledons are present. Okay, angiosperms are divided into two groups on the basis of the number of cotyledons. So how many cotyledons are present? Based on that, these angiosperms are grouped into two, that is monocots and dicots. Very important part, children. You will be studying in the next slide about monocots and dicots. Yeah, as I said, angiosperms are divided into two groups on the basis of the number of cotyledons. So plants with seeds having single cotyledons are said to be monocots. Examples are rice, wheat, maize, etc. So these seeds are, they cannot be divided into two. So that means they have one cotyledons, that is monocots. Okay. So plants with seeds having two cotyledons are said to be dicot. Example, green gram, peas, etc. If you just soak these peas or green grams in water for overnight and just take a chance of removing that seed, so you can see there are two cotyledons are present. You can separate two cotyledons, right? And these are said to be monocots and dicots. Okay, here in the picture you can notice. Okay, so this is said to be monocots and dicots. Let us see a major difference between monocots and dicots, monocot plant and dicot plant. Coming to seed, as you know, monocots are one cotyledon. You can see in the picture how it looks. And coming to the leaf structure, the veins usually are parallel. Okay, if you look into the shape of the veins that is present in the leaf are parallel. Okay, and vascular bundles usually complexly arranged. Okay, so vascular bundles at xylem and phloem are complexly arranged in case of monocot plant. So if you look into the root, they have fibrous root system. Okay, so and coming to flowers, the floral parts usually in multiples of 3. So the floral parts have the multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, like that. Okay. So in case of dicot, if you look into the seed or embryo, it is two cotyledons, and leaf venation is reticulate venation. It is net-like venation. Okay. Coming to stems, vascular bundles usually arranged in ring size. Okay, ring way. And roots are taproot, usually present in case of dicot plants. In case of dicot, the flowers are usually multiples of 4 or 5. 4, 8, 16, 12, like that. Okay, so 5 multiples. So it is present like that, and this difference is very important. Okay. So children, I hope you people have explored the overall plant kingdom. It is very easy to understand. Just make a mind maps and study. Okay, no worksheet for the day. You just complete with your classwork and read for the test. So that's enough. See you all in the next class. Until then, stay safe at home. Okay, bye everyone.